We continue to preview the 2025 college volleyball season. Our stop today is Waxahachie, Texas, as we visit with the new head coach for the Nelson Lions, Coach Nick Moore. If you've heard the name Coach Moore before leading that job, well, you're right, but we'll talk about that a little bit more later. Right now, I want to talk with Coach Nick Moore and say, congratulations, sir. I'm happy that you have the opportunity.
Thanks, Joe. I really appreciate it. We're excited for all things to come.
Well, let's look at last year really quickly and talk about 2024. A fantastic season, and 31-6 overall, 22-0 in Sooner Athletic Conference play. Just a fantastic run through the SAC there. At one point, Coach, there was a 25-match winning streak. Talk a little bit about last year and the success that the Lions had.
Yeah, last year was really special. It was a lot of fun to be a part of, but it was really, I felt very fortunate to be every day when I'd wake up, be excited about what I get to go and do. Just the group of girls that we had in the locker room and in the gym every day were fantastic to work with. It's rare that every day, every single person shows up and gives everything that they have, but that's what we had last year. And, I think that's the biggest factor in the results that we had on the court was just that level of commitment to what we were trying to accomplish together was really there. And so it was a lot of fun to be a part of for sure.
Fantastic. And I know that we talked a little bit before we started recording about the retention rate that you have and the players coming back. So hopefully that is a part of this year's team as well. Coach, I would be remiss if I didn't talk a little bit about legacy, because I know that Coach Hank Moore was the coach there for about a quarter of a century. I mean, really put his stamp on the program there. That's your father. Talk a little bit about that and what that means. And again, I know you've probably had the question a few times, but I wanted to ask it too, just to, it's a family thing. You've been a part of the program as well, but what does it mean to get to continue something like that?
Yeah, I think what my dad was able to build here is really, really special. I've worked here alongside him for 11 years as well. So I got to grow up around this program, have a real appreciation for how far it's come because I saw it over 24 years of my life. And it's just what he was able to build is really special. We're committed to who we are as an institution, and, we aim every day to reflect that in everything that we do. And it's really, really special, especially the last year being his last year, how that all went. That was really cool for him to be able to kind of go out on top with experiencing what we got to experience last year. So they're big shoes to fill, but they're shoes I've seen worn every day. So at least have a real head start compared to if I was an outsider coming in.
That's really cool to hear. And again, congratulations on the opportunity. We're visiting now with Coach Nick Moore from the Nelson Lions here on Midwest Sports Net, and we're previewing the 25 college volleyball season. I encourage you, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. We enjoy that. We enjoy talking about small college sports and more throughout the Midwest and beyond. Coach, I have had an opportunity to be down there at your facilities more than once and do like the place. Got to watch a volleyball practice one time a couple of years ago. I mean, lots of great players, lots of activity. Let's start as we look at 2025, talking about the fact that there is retention from last year's team. All the players coming back that were a part of that last year's team. On offense, Cassidy Hargesheimer, a fantastic job setter. Do you all run a 6-2? And talk about the role that she'll play in helping with your offense.
Yeah, so we're returning 17 girls from last year's team. So that's everybody that didn't graduate, which is exciting. But yeah, I think both of our setters, because we are running a 6-2 with Cassidy and Taylor Cavazos as well, they do such a good job. What we ask them to do from just a volleyball standpoint is really, really difficult. We try to play very, very fast. And at the end of the day, a lot of that comes down to what those setters are able to do. And are they able to put their hitters in good spots and go and execute game plans? And, they're kind of like the quarterback or the point guard. The ball's in their hands a lot. So they have to go and make all those decisions, and we throw a lot at them. But both of those players are great at not only just being technically sound with what they do, but really understanding the game and being able to execute the things that we prepared for throughout the week.
Do you have some of your outsiders returning, some that may get to step into new roles now?
Yeah, we have. Well, obviously Lily Hannah's returning. She was first team all conference for us out of the middle. So she carries a big role in what we do offensively and defensively. But we're returning Alex Bonet as an outside hitter. We're returning Caroline Boone, who's an outside hitter for us last year, and Samantha Moore, who she played middle and some at the pins last year. But her Sam's role's kind of changing for next year. Probably be moving to one of the pins just because we do have some new recruits through the middle. So we'll be a little bit deeper in the middle than we were last year. So we can bounce her to a more natural position out on a pin.
Well, tell us a little bit about the defensive look. Same. Are there any from last year's team that may be stepping into new roles? And do you have those recruits? Talk about the players that are going to have an impact on your defense at the net.
Yeah. So as far as what we do defensively, we graduated 3 back row defensive players, including our libero, Tessa Glick, who's all-time digs leader in program history. So we'll have to replace her, but we felt like we already had the kids in our program that could step up and compete at that same level as where we were last year. So that's exciting. We did have one junior college transfer in Allie Jower. She transferred from Temple College, and she'll be competing for that libero job along with several other girls that we already have in the program. But it's an exciting time. We're really excited about the 2025 class. Feel like it's going to be a really, really good one. We signed 2 6'1" middle blockers in that class, and we had another transfer middle that's coming as well. It's she's a little different athletically with the things that she can do. Like I wish I could jump the way that kid jumps. It's not really fair. But yeah, we should be athletic, if nothing else, which lets us do a lot of fun things defensively.
Season gets underway in the middle of August. You'll head to Montana Tech for a tournament, and you and Texas Wesleyan also hosting a pre-conference tournament after that before the Sooner Athletic Conference schedule gets underway. And having run the table last year, I'm sure there's a nice big target on your back once you get into conference play as well for the first team to get to try to put one in the L column there. We'll see how that all works out. Tell us a little bit about your schedule.
Yeah, so we open up really tough. In our first 8 matches, we have 7 matches against the top 40 from last year at the end of the year. I think we're playing 6 national tournament teams in our first 8 matches. So it's going to be we hit it tough in that preseason, but you really have to compete at a national level. So we're excited about that. We're excited to get a real gauge of where we are nationally, because at this point in the year, all it is kind of a guess or a feeling. But once we hit August and we play the schedule that we play, we'll know really quick. And then we jump right into conference play, and the Sooner Athletic Conference it's tough. It's night in and night out. You have to show up or someone's going to beat you. And it doesn't really matter who you're playing in that. Everybody has talented kids. We always tell our girls, the teams we're playing against, they have scholarships too. And so you better be prepared, because they're definitely coming for you, and they prepped all week for you.
I like that phrase, Coach. I may borrow that one. Yeah,
thanks. I made that one up.
Oh, did you? Okay. Well, I'll probably give you credit the first 2 or 3 times I use it. And after that, I think it will be mine. But you're right, though. That's a great way of looking at it, and a great motivation. Coach, I think you're going to do fantastic, and I'm excited for you to have the opportunity to do that. It's been a privilege to get to visit with Coach Nick Moore from Nelson as we preview the 2025 college volleyball season, and we'll follow the Lions this year as we always do. And success to you all, Coach, and thanks for stopping by Midwest Sports Net.
Thanks for having me, Joey.